For decades, Rick and Marty Lagina have dedicated their lives to unraveling the mysteries of Oak Island. Faced with setbacks and skeptics, their belief never wavered. It was a promise, a lifelong quest that would define them. They chased rumors of the money pit through storms, collapses, and floods. They invested millions and endured harsh criticism, but the team became family, bonded by a single belief. It began with a story that captured a young Rick's imagination. He stood at Smith's Cove for years, hopeful and steadfast. Small discoveries hinted at something greater beneath their feet. They learned from history and brought modern science to the hunt. Years hardened into resolve. They were ready for a final push. And so, with history on their shoulders, they began anew. Following compelling new evidence, their focus shifted to a zone they called Garden Shaft East. Water assays and seismic imaging revealed unusual concentrations of precious metals, especially gold. An unexplained void appeared roughly 160 feet below the surface. They brought a monumental rig and assembled a team of miners and engineers. A wide steel caisson would bypass the island's infamous flood tunnels. Every step was meticulous, safety and precision first. The hum of machinery became Oak Island's new heartbeat. Foot by foot, they pierced clay, gravel, and stone toward the anomaly. Weeks of steady, often uneventful progress tested their patience. At 158 feet, the torque spiked. Something hard and foreign was hit. The grinding turned to a metallic screech. The rig stopped. A hush fell over the site. Data matched the prediction. A large metallic obstruction spanned the shaft. They switched to a precision core drill to sample the obstruction, inch by inch. At depth, a sealed core barrel was carefully pulled to the surface. Inside the analysis tent, every speck would be examined. They began extruding the core, first the grinding mud, then...
Wait a minute.
Under the microscope, the fleck glinted unmistakably. A shaving of pure gold. A collective gasp flowed through the tent. As they washed the sample, more flecks appeared. The deposit was impregnated with gold. This wasn't old iron or searcher gear. The signature pointed to something extraordinary. The single core sample transformed speculation into a focused recovery operation. Word spread quickly. Oak Island had given a sign of treasure at last. Marty's skepticism softened. Rick's hope found a foothold. With confirmation, excavation turned careful and methodical. Miners took over the narrow shaft. Every bucket of soil was sifted. Every fragment was a clue. First came dozens of mud-caked coins. Spanish doubloons, French louis d'or from centuries past. Numismatists immediately began identification and cataloguing. Under lights in the subterranean chamber, the full extent began to emerge. An iron-banded lid and the frame of massive chests peeked from the blue clay. Not one chest, several packed tightly and preserved by the dense clay. Stacks of gold bars lay beside a scatter of coins. The sheer volume stunned everyone. They found ceremonial objects, a jewel-encrusted sword, a heavy gold cross with enigmatic symbols. Gold astrolabe pieces suggested skilled mariners or a highly organized deposit. Each item was catalogued, photographed, and sealed for safe transport. For the first time in centuries, these chests saw sunlight. The island had finally surrendered a fortune. With the treasure secured, world-class experts were flown in to inspect the haul. Numismatists, metallurgists, and historians converged to date, assay, and interpret the finds. Gold bars were weighed. Purity analyses confirmed exceptional quality. Non-invasive scans revealed construction details and authenticity. An appraisal team prepared the valuation, the moment everyone awaited. He laid out rarity, historical significance, and market values. Conservatively, he announced an estimated total of $50 million. A stunned silence fell, then cheering, hugs, and relief. Coins, bullion, and priceless artifacts combined to that staggering figure. News spread. Oak Island would never be the same. For the Laginas, the number validated years of faith and sacrifice. But the true value would be measured by what the treasure revealed. For Rick, the moment meant more than money. It was the fulfillment of a childhood promise. For Marty, it was validation of investment, perseverance, and love for his brother's dream. Craig and others who had poured themselves into the work felt relief and pride. For Dave, it honored his father's legacy and decades of local dedication. All the failures, the ridicule, the long nights, they all fed into this one triumphant hour. The emotional payoff was immeasurable. A lifetime of devotion realized together. They saw not just value, but answers, pieces of history returned to the world. They thanked the island, and those who had come before them, for guiding the search. For Rick, it was personal, a promise kept to his younger self. For the team, it was family, loyalty rewarded, friendships honored. And yet the discovery raised new questions, and new possibilities. The discovery answered a legendary question. But it did not close the book on Oak Island. Rick and Marty looked ahead with the same determination. The quest would continue. Scholars, collectors, and the public would now study these artifacts for generations. The mix of Spanish, French, and symbolic artifacts hinted at a story more complex than any single theory. The $50 million jackpot transformed Oak Island from legend into history, and it ignited new possibilities. Their legacy is not only the treasure, it's the example of perseverance and brotherhood. Oak Island has given up a fortune, and with it, a promise. The end is just the beginning.